2 hours later, Joel was in Brownsville. He now knew his father was named Sam Jones, and that he was a homeless heroin head, as the expression went. But he was often seen around this neighborhood, one the common gentrification of Brooklyn in recent times had yet to reach. His father spent most of his time either in jail or in a drug den. Nevertheless, only one person would confirm to Joel where this Sam could be found, and the teenage girl told Joel not to say anything about her. She also warned Joel that dangerous men guarded the heroin houses, and that they wouldn't be happy about a stranger coming around asking for one of their customers. Like a lot of houses in the ghetto, the triplex looked like it could have been a nice house at one time. Now the beige brick siding had largely chipped off, and the windows that weren't boarded up had black plastic garbage bags hanging in the window. Joel had to look down to avoid the broken glass scattered among the soiled newspaper and cigarette butts on the sidewalk in front of it. Skipping over a rotted-out step, Joel approached the door and knocked. He could hear rustling and yelling inside the house. The door opened with a loud whoosh. A black man of about 30, who was around Joel's size, stood at the door. 2 linebacker-sized men stood behind him. All eyed him warily, his polo shirt and khakis somehow drawing extra suspicion. "Look at this Walmart wearing Is my dad here?" "Jehovah's Witness punk-ass bitch," the man in front said. "What the fuck do you want?" "I was told Sam Jones is here. I want to see him," Joel replied. "Well, you're gonna have a long wait. Turns out that heroin head ain't here, and we never sent you an invite to come snooping around, so why don't you turn your skinny ass around and go get some Converts back at the fucking Walmart?" "I'm coming in," Joel responded. The man whipped out a gun. He might as well have been moving in slow motion. Joel grabbed the man's hand as it came up. Joel let him get away with a fractured index fingertip. As he jerked his hand back, Joel crushed the gun like it was made of aluminum foil and dropped it to the floor. He gave the man a shove back that sent him 10 feet through the air, cracking the drywall behind him before falling to the ground, stunned, holding his broken finger. Joel stepped forward and picked up the other 2 men by the front of their shirts before they could raise their hands to him. He placed one on each side of him like a couple of bags of leaves. They stood in place, shocked. Joel strode into the house and down the hallway toward the kitchen at the back of the house. As he entered, he gagged from the smell of vomit, urine, and body odor. He didn't like to do it, but he felt compelled to shut down his olfactory sense. The graffiti-covered walls reverberated with the sound of hip-hop music from the adjoining bedroom. Joel made his way through by the light of a cheap plastic floor lamp. He crossed into the hallway and turned the old glass doorknob. Locked. The doorframe cracked and splintered as Joel shoved the door open. He walked over to the old boombox and turned it off as the rattled occupants looked on. 6 people, 4 men and 2 women, huddled on the carpet which oozed putrid fluid around the sole of his shoe as he walked. Joel made himself unresponsive to the narcotic smoke that filled the bedroom. They were emaciated shells of people. They seemed oblivious to the cold, early spring breeze that buffeted the addicts' unshaven and bruised faces and limbs. Their stares reminded Joel of the face on the man from Van Gogh's The Scream, if he had been draped in filthy third-hand cargo pants and a sweatshirt with snot on the sleeves. The worst of the lot sat in the far corner. He looked more than 50, but Joel knew he was closer to 40. Deep creases outlined the bags under his yellowed, crazed eyes. His brown afro looked like grungy cotton candy. The man was distractedly scratching the scabs that were scattered across his exposed forearms and neck. There was a tear at the knee of his filthy green and red plaid slacks, and a brown ring around the neck of his yellow sweatshirt that read, "Coney Island Wing Off." Joel walked over to the man. "Hello, Dad," he said. "Hey, what?" the man babbled. His reservations nagging at him again, Joel reached out with his mind and made a mental connection with his father, blocking the chemical signal from the heroin to his dad's brain. Joel immediately saw the eyes of his father lose their glaze. "What did you just do?" he asked. Joel ignored the question. "I'm your son, Joel," he said instead. "My son? With who? I don't know about no son," Joel's now lucid father said. "You don't remember going to a sperm bank 24 years ago?" Joel asked. Joel knew the answer as soon as he finished asking the question, much to his own embarrassment. Any casual observer could tell that this man would probably not have remembered his decades-old experience at the sperm bank, certainly would not have followed up on it, and that this was, by Dr. Harrington's design. "I don't remember that," he said. "Do you need to know I'm your son?" Joel said, as he looked at the callow face of a broken man, a face that nevertheless could have been his own. "What do you want?" Joel's father asked. "I don't want anything. I just want us to get to know each other. You're the only family I have." "I think this place tells more about me than you want to know," Sam said. "Tell me about my grandparents, then." Joel's dad motioned for him to sit down. Joel found the only semi-clean chair. "Your grandmother, she was a good woman. She raised me as best she could. She worked 2 jobs, one as a waitress, one as a cashier at the supermarket. She did everything she could, but I was sick of being poor, sick of not belonging with the black kids or the white kids. I guess that's how I ended up here. The first time she knew where I was going, she'd do anything to stop me. She'd try to hold me back. If she couldn't get my waist, then she'd grab me by the ankles, whatever she could get her hands on. One time she even hid my shoes. Can you believe that? The bitch hid my shoes. But you found them anyway?" Sam paused. "Hell, it was summer. It was a bitch dodging the broken glass, though." Joel's dad seemed lost in thought for a moment after saying this. "She'd even show up here sometimes, try to drag my ass out of here. Shit, even the dudes out front said they liked her. Still, they carried her off kicking and screaming. But they liked her. She died about 10 years ago. They said she had a heart attack." "They said? You don't know?" Joel asked. "I didn't want to know. I didn't want to go see how I helped put her in an early grave. And thanks to this," he said, motioning to his pipe, "I didn't have to know. They got her in some unmarked grave out in Staten Island, next to a dump. I hate to even think about it. I just think about when things were better. When I was a little kid in the Bronx, Mom would sometimes take me out on the boat ride. The one from Midtown that would go by the Statue of Liberty. We could see the apartment buildings in Riverdale, the nice new ones that looked out on the Hudson. She told me we'd get there someday. Wake up with that view. Well, maybe she has it now." "Where was your dad during all this?" "Oh, him. I think he'd have to admit I existed before he could have helped. He was some hotshot businessman. He was in town about once a month. Mom was pretty. A lot of men hit on her when she was waitressing at the airport. These rich white guys included. She didn't go for it at first, not until he made some promises. And he was charming, Mom used to say. He had charm and an unlisted phone number. Mom did manage to track him down at one point. Pretended to be an angry customer just to ask for a couple $100 a month for support." "What was his response?" "There wasn't no DNA testing shit back then. The next day he had a new unlisted phone number." Joel paused. "Dad, I know you can't want this. I know you've been in and out of prison for burglary, theft, because of this habit. Listen to me. I can do things. Incredible things. I can make you free of that heroin. I deactivated its effect temporarily just now, but I could deactivate it permanently, signal the right receptors to change ever so slightly." "No," Sam yelled as he jumped up and grabbed Joel by the throat. "Don't you do nothing to me, you freak. Stay out of my fucking brain." Then he seemed to catch himself and slowly released his grip. "Sorry, man. You gotta understand, I can't give this shit up. I don't want to give it up. You see, women, they want me to get a job, get off the heroin, help take care of their kids. The social workers want their steady job and pat themselves on the back for changing me. The dealers want their money. My body screams at me to get off this shit. But not the heroin itself, man. All this heroin wants to do is make me happy. It's a beautiful thing. Is that all you want? Come on, I do want you to be happy. I want to help you. You can't tell me you're happy right now, not deep down. I am miserable when the heroin wears off. Makes me puke like a dog, man. And I gotta see all this," he said, motioning around the room with his eyes. He sat pondering Joel's words for a moment. "Hey, wait a minute," Sam continued. If you can make the heroin not work, couldn't you make it work all the time? Get some kind of loop going in my brain or something? Can you change my brain so I'd never come down, never feel sick? If you really want to make me happy, do that." Joel turned away in disgust, stood and walked to the door. "Hey," Sam shouted after him. "You want to help me? Then help me. Make me high for a little while at least." Joel walked into the living room and accosted the presumptive leader of the group again. He glowered at the man, but he was obviously not intimidated. Joel saw the leader shake his head ever so slightly to tell the two henchmen behind him not to fire the guns Joel could tell they were reaching for with 3 different senses. Joel thought there could be little doubt in the leader's mind that Joel could kill him with his bare hands. The stone-faced stare the leader gave back showed he had been in worse positions before with men far less stable than Joel. "Well, I hope you're proud of yourself," Joel said. "My dad is hopelessly addicted to poison." The leader's blank face broke into a smirk, then a smile. Then he started roaring with laughter. He had to wipe tears away and catch his breath. When he'd regained his composure, he said, "Holmes, you came all the way down here to find that out? Hell, you just could have asked me, or anyone else within 10 blocks. "Is his mom really dead? He said she died of a heart attack." "Yes, she's dead. She died right out there," the leader said, motioning outside. "I was the new kid here then. She was so broken up about not being able to drag her son's sorry ass out of here again, she never saw the car coming. We beat the shit out of that motherfucker who hit her. I like that lady. Any more questions?" Joel glanced back toward the back room one more time and then turned to walk out the door.